One thing I think social media has done for a lot of our minds is kind of misconstrue what people are actually out there doing. So, this travel trailer here is by far one of the most popular travel trailers out there, not just like the brand and what this is, but like the floor plan layout and the price range of this. Like, it's everything that almost everyone feels that they need in a camper, nothing more, nothing less, and it's what most people end up buying. So let's go take a look. What's up, y'all? Welcome back to another video. If you're new here, my name is Myles with Firmly Unbound, and we are here at Blue Compass RV today taking a look at this 2025 Heartland Prowler 3211 BH. You'll be able to see the floor plan layout and the specs on the screen, but it's right at about 37 feet long. Unloaded, it's about 73 to 7,400 pounds, and then fully loaded, it's about 9,500 pounds. 41-gallon freshwater tank, 40-gallon gray water, and 80-gallon black water, since it does have two toilets in here. Now, what I really want to know from you guys as we go through this video is this enough RV for you? Is it too much RV for you? Or is it exactly what you would need? Because what I see on social media, and I actually just filmed this video, this was probably the last video that you saw come out, was this model right here. And I kind of went over the same topics here. We're going to go over some similar stuff in this video in case you missed this one. But this model here was not the perfect example of what I'm going to talk about today, because this is 3 slides, it's huge, has washer dryer connections, could potentially live in something like this. This here is much more of your just standard kind of I'm just going camping travel trailer. And this is what I find most people will actually spend their money on, but it's not usually the stuff that goes most viral on social media. It's not the stuff that looks most popular if you're just looking at view counts on social media videos. So this here is what people realistically are typically spending their money on. And I want to know from your perspective, you as the viewer, are you, the person watching, okay with something like this? Do you want something more expensive that comes with more than what this has here, or is this too expensive for you? Let me know as we go through this. Now, real quick on the outside, this looks like this one here has an aluminum front. Yeah, this looks like it's some pieces of aluminum there on the front, fiberglass sidewall. It will have aluminum framing throughout here. So this puts this above an entry-level travel trailer point, because an entry-level travel trailer is going to have all aluminum siding with wood framing. This has fiberglass siding with aluminum framing, and then it's also going to have Asdel sidewalls, which are composite panel sidewalls, which are a bit more premium as well than like a standard Luan sidewall that is susceptible to moisture damage, which you just don't get with an Asdel sidewall. Two 20-pound propane bottles, spot for a battery up front, power stabilizers on here, and you have a fully enclosed underbelly. So you will get, oh, whoops, didn't mean to zoom in there for you. You will get an enclosed underbelly that will stay warm there when you have your furnace on, so that your water lines and water tanks don't freeze. It does not have 12-volt heat pads on it though, like you'll see on more expensive RVs. And then it also has more of like a standard Trailer King tire. Nothing elaborate here, no special wheels or special suspension system or anything like that that you again might find on the more expensive travel trailers than something like this. Outdoor speakers, you have your awning up over the top with an LED light strip in there, and then you do have an outdoor kitchen here with a cast iron griddle cooktop, and then you have a mini fridge and some storage space through there. You have a solid step as you enter in. You, of course, have a screen door on your entry door as well. It is a friction hinge door, which is nice. It is a very windy day today, and if this was not a friction hinge door, the wind would definitely push this door back closed on me, but that friction hinge both stops the door from slamming shut and from slamming into the sidewall there. As we step inside, we're going to get to the price pretty quickly in here. But before we do that, I want to let you know real quick, if you haven't gone and checked it out, I have another YouTube channel called Firmly Unbound. Firmly Unbound is basically a lifestyle that I have been living. I've been living these principles of living firmly unbound, which is what a lot of what is talked about on the Firmly Unbound YouTube channel, as well as showing examples of it. And if you haven't gone and checked it out, there's a link down below in the comments and description where you can find that channel. Living by those principles has drastically changed my life in all positive ways. And I want that same thing for you. So my hope is to inspire and encourage you to live more firmly unbound. And you can learn more about that on the Firmly Unbound YouTube channel. Go check that out. Again, link is down below in the comments and description. And you can find Firmly Unbound apparel on firmlyunbound.com. So as we get into this, you can see pretty standard bunkhouse travel trailer floor plan design. And look at the price on this, y'all. Just $34,995 for a nearly 37-foot travel trailer. I mean, that's pretty dang good. In addition to that, you can see some of the things talked about here. Like you have two ACs in this travel trailer, 15,000 BTU AC, and then you have another AC in here just for the bunk area. You have dual ducting on your AC unit as well, so you can see ducting going down this way and going down this way with those vents there in the ceiling. You have solid surface countertops, so it's going to be like a ceramic countertop material. It's not a wrapped kind of material like a thermofoil countertop. So again, another more premium thing. No carpet in the slide outs. And then that's about where the premium stuff stops. Everything after that is pretty baseline as far as what you get. I mean, even just simple stuff like you look at the lights that they use in here. These are about the cheapest looking lights that you could get in a RV. I mean, these look very similar to what's in my family's like 2001 fifth wheel camper that we have. That's our like beater camper essentially. But they get the job done. You know, they provide light. You have black pleated shades on here. You don't get the pull down blackout shades, but they are a shade nonetheless. So you have those there. Again, if you want to get better features in some of these areas, you have to start going up in price, or maybe this is just too much for you and you don't need all of this and just something even simpler than this would work for you. That's kind of what I'm wanting to gauge here, is where we're at as a consumer in the RV world right now. What kind of stuff you guys are looking at, because what I've seen is my inclination is to want to film all this like high-end expensive stuff because that's what all you guys primarily watch. That's what gets all the high view counts. But I know that's not what everybody's buying. Like most people aren't spending $120,000 to $160,000 on a Brinkley RV, or spending $80,000 to $100,000 on a Brinkley travel trailer. And some of them are cheaper than that, so don't think those are the only price ranges in like a Brinkley. But that's what gets the views right now. It's the expensive Riverstone fifth wheel RVs or the expensive DRV Mobile Suites fifth wheels. Things like that. Or on the contrary, it's the really teeny tiny like 12, 13, $14,000 trailers that also get a lot of views, or the really tiny like teardrop trailers that are cheap. Those also get a lot of views because they're super cheap. But this here is what, just as somebody who sold RVs, like this is usually the bread and butter of what, you know, kind of keeps an RV dealership running, is stuff like this, because this is what most people actually buy from what I've seen. But again, curious to hear your thoughts. Now let's go through this floor plan layout because it's pretty dang cool. You have your big closet in here, or not closet, sorry, pantry in there. Again, if you're looking at this too and thinking like, oh, it has everything that I could want except for a washer and dryer connection. If you really want a washer dryer, go watch my last uploaded video. It's very similar to this, but it has its own full private bunk room and a washer dryer connection in the bedroom. 300-pound weight range here on the bunk beds. Those look like these are going to be right at about 6 feet long in length or so. So if you're over 6 feet, you can lay diagonally in here to fit a little bit better. You do have windows in here, individual lights in here, and then that is pretty much it. I don't even see outlets in the bunks. Again, just kind of talking to, you know, a little bit on the less expensive side. I'm actually surprised not to see any outlets here in the bunk area at all. That's not super common that you see that. You do have outlets right here on the wall though. So you do have outlets there. And then you have a spot where you can actually put a TV here in this bunk room, because it does have a full privacy door. So you can actually close this door here. Now, you say full privacy. Now, we're not level right now, so that could have something to do with this too, but there is a pretty considerable crack right there. But at least gives you some sense of privacy, and that might be, you know, better arranged when we're actually level. But you have the door that closes here, which is pretty unique. You don't see that a lot of times in a floor plan arrangement like this in a travel trailer. And then behind this door, first of all, let's look at the storage real quick. Got some shelving there. Again, things too, like these cabinet doors, these look like, yeah, you can see here, they're like a pressed wood with a wrapped decorative material on here that is susceptible to peeling and scratching. Again, not a huge deal. It's not, you know, the end of the world or anything, but if you want like a solid hardwood stained cabinet door, then you go up in price from something like this here. You have a plastic foot flush toilet in here. It's another one of those things where it's, you know, a little bit on the cheaper side. It definitely helps the price not having a porcelain foot flush toilet. it gets the job done. My family's fifth wheel RV that we use for hunting trips and, kind of like the camping trip that you saw here that I just did on this channel like a couple weeks ago. If you saw that video, that had a plastic toilet in it and it works fine. And you don't need a porcelain toilet, it just might be preferred. So again, you just have to go up in price point to get some of those things. You have your sink here, a little bit of storage underneath the sink, and storage space here, plus pretty good shelving all through here. And kind of my hope as well with making these videos is to get people out of the mindset that we need like the most elaborate best campers out there to go out and go camping. I think I've even fallen victim to that as I'm getting real close to buying an RV for myself. I'm having a hard time being willing to like pull the trigger and get something that I can afford because I'm being like influenced by the view counts on the internet to feel like I need something that's more expensive that I maybe can't afford as easily. And it shouldn't be like that. Like I can make something like this work, So I'm even making this for myself too, to just let myself know like, hey, stuff like this will get the job done as long as you're willing to understand what it is that you're getting and what you're able to live without. That's something that I'm really, really heavy on. When I bought my Toyota Tundra, this is actually a really good example of this. When I bought my Toyota Tundra, I only wanted to see videos about things that were the least desirable things about the Toyota Tundra because I needed to understand if I could live with those imperfections. That's what I needed to know because no truck is going to be perfect. So I need to know what's wrong with each truck, which things are annoying about each truck, so I know what things I can live with. Like in the Tundra, it does not have a flat floor along the back seat, along that flooring there, and the seats don't flip up because it has the hybrid battery system underneath my seat there. And I really like in like the Ford trucks, for instance, the seat can flip up and the whole floor can go flat. You can have your dog just jump up in there and it's awesome. My truck doesn't have that, but that's a choice I knew about before I made the purchase that I knew I could live with to get some of the other stuff I wanted from the Tundra. So I try to give you guys the same thing here with the RVs, try to help you understand like what you may be losing out on at certain price ranges or what you may get from higher price ranges and all these different things in between, so you can just make the most informed decision for yourself on what you can live with. I'm not trying to persuade you to buy one thing over the other or whatever. I'm trying to show you everything that there is and let you make your decision for yourself on what you can live with. So I hope you appreciate that. If you do, make sure you subscribe to this channel because that's what I'm all about here, is trying to do that. You have an electric fireplace here. Love this. This is actually absolutely perfect for a day like today. It's about 50 degrees outside. It is windy and cold, and I was dumb and did not bring a jacket today. So as soon as I step inside the RV here, it's literally about 10 to 15 degrees warmer in here than it is outside. It feels perfect. The chill is taken off the air, and it feels very comfortable in just a t-shirt and shorts. But as soon as I step outside, it is pretty dang cold. And all I have going is the fireplace for a heat source, and literally the whole travel trailer is comfortable just off this fireplace right now. That's what it's for. When you drop down to like sub 40 degree temperatures, then you'd start needing something like the furnace. And then once you get into below freezing temperatures, use the furnace as well to try to help make sure that your water tanks and water lines and everything don't freeze. You have a U-shaped dinette table here. This will drop down and make into a bed if you need it. No carpet in the slide out, and you do have storage access underneath that dinette. Black pull-down pleated shades. You have a jackknife sofa here. Storage underneath that jackknife sofa. You can put a TV on the wall there if you want a TV in your camper. You could probably fit at least about a 32-inch screen TV there. That'd probably be a reasonable size. 12-volt Furrion refrigerator and freezer. Also want to just go back and double point out or highlight the fact that there are 2 air conditioners on here, and that second AC is actually in that bunk area. So pretty neat. This AC here is ducted all the way back to the bedroom. So you do have her up front to the bedroom. You have a really good sized 3-burner Suburban stove. A little bit bigger stove than you might see in some other travel trailers. The oven size is pretty standard though. Storage space down underneath here for your pots and pans and things of that nature. And then 2 drawers right here. Something to note on the drawers as well. Like this is something that I've heard people complain about. In fact, people that I know personally even. The drawers in here are not super strong. Like when I even push down on them, there's a little bit of flex here. Now you can solve this yourself by putting like a little piece of plywood underneath here that runs from side to side to give it some reinforced strength. In fact, I know that because Alliance Delta, they do that in their travel trailers, and that's again another example where like a travel trailer in this size from Alliance Delta is going to be much closer to about $50,000, but it is going to have one of those added things where they went ahead and did that themselves, where they added in that extra support to make sure this has more strength here. Another thing, this looks really nice with this white look on the inside. This is just a pressed wood with a wrapped decorative material on here that can potentially peel or stuff like that over time. So those are all things to be mindful of as well. You have shelving here, nice deep stainless steel sink. Love the size of this. Tankless on-demand water heater. Light there that I forgot to turn on. Again, ceramic countertops, love that. And then going back this way, you have your bathroom through here. So this is your full-size bathroom with the shower. Great size shower in here, another plastic foot flush toilet. The base of the shower here really large in size. And then if I flip the camera around, step up into here, you can see it's probably about 6'2", 6'2.5" to right here. And then up into the skylight, you could easily probably be about 6'5" and fit in there. And this actually sits at a pretty good height as well, where I would barely have to duck to get underneath that. So pretty nice. Actually pretty pleased with the shower. Coming back this way, you have a queen size bed in the bedroom. Here's your thermostat controls for that AC that goes back to the bedroom. So nice that it's close to the bedroom area here. Queen size bed in here. Good wardrobe storage, because not only do you have your wardrobe storage here, see your outlets and USB ports as well that are accessible through that little cubby hole. See that cubby hole right there. You also have more wardrobe storage right there. So very nice having all of this additional storage if you want to do some extended camping. Again, if you've got to this point in the video and you're like, man, there's no washer dryer connections, go watch my last uploaded video. Same brand, very close price point, but it is a travel trailer model. It's a different Heartland Prowler that has the washer dryer connections in them, if that's something that you want. Of course, you have storage underneath the bed. See all that there? And then 2 lights in here, light here, and then a single light up over the bed. Again, that's where, you know, you can see a little bit of the cheaper nature of this travel trailer, just having 1 light here and 1 light there, where something more expensive would most certainly have like an individual light for each person, or even a reading light for each person, and probably a couple different lights here in the bedroom. But this is just a cheaper option that still just gets the job done. It's not like it doesn't have everything that you need. It just doesn't have those extra nice things that are just like, okay, it might be nice to have, you know? But those nice to have sometimes come at a much higher price point. Let me grab my sunglasses here in case I didn't talk about it. This is liquefied here. I think I mentioned it, but if I didn't, this you can find on Amazon. This takes care of all your tanks in your RVs, and these are going to make sure that your tanks smell fresh and that they decompose properly and drain out properly. So find liquefied on Amazon. You have all your controls right here, and then we're going to go ahead and hop outside. But let me know what you think about this floor plan layout too. It's pretty dang cool what they did with this bunkhouse area. Definitely different than most. And then also one last construction aspect on this RV. They do have a Dynaspan flooring underneath here. Basically, that's like a single piece flooring that's 5/8 inches thick, and then it's treated to be water resistant as well. So it's one single piece. That means there's no seams in it or anything like that. So it doesn't have like any failure points in it, which is really nice. So you come back out this way again, Asdale sidewalls, fiberglass sidewall construction, and then you have your outdoor speakers on this side. You're going to have like a freshwater connection right here to fill your fresh water. You're going to have a spray port out here, so you have a spot where you can have a spray port for water outside. Could put a TV out here so you have outlets and like a little satellite connection plug. But you can also just plug in other things in that area. Outdoor speakers look pretty cheap on this, not gonna lie. And so I would just recommend bringing like your own Bluetooth speaker for outside music or sounds and stuff like that. You do have electric stabilizers on this travel trailer. You can store your sewer hose in the rear bumper back here. Tankless on-demand water heater, 50 amp power connection along the back here. You have your water connections right there as well. on the outside. Looks like this is the black and gray tank dump valve for the half bath in the back, and then you'll have another dump valve for the other bathroom up front here, and likely the kitchen sink as well. Your slide mechanism on here is a rack and pinion style slide mechanism, so no cable slides and no Schwintek slide. And then finally, underneath here, you have your passenger storage compartment. There's your cover for the propane bottles and your 50 amp power cord with the aluminum frame structure. And that is pretty much everything, y'all. So right around $35,000, I think it's a pretty dang good deal, actually. And I think it's what most people would need without all the extra fluff to go out camping with the family. Again, something like this, I'd recommend like a 3/4 ton truck, just with the payload capacity and things like that on this. The hitch weight is something you also have to be mindful of on travel trailers, and how that is related to the cargo capacity on your truck. So like the hitch weight on this is 740 pounds. So you just don't want to make sure you're overloading anything. You might be able to get away with towing this with, you know, a modern half ton as well, potentially. But nonetheless, curious your thoughts. Let me know what you think down below about all the things we talked about here. And that's all I got for y'all. Until next time, live firmly unbound.